What's up, guys? So in this video, I'm just going to go over, so this will be a pod vlog, right? So it's a podcast mixed with a vlog. You don't necessarily have to watch, but if you want to, feel free. I wanted to go over whether it was possible to overtrain, and in my opinion, I think the case is yes. And I've done a little bit of research to see what kind of the signs of overtraining would be. And we'll go over that, and I only say that overtraining is a thing because I've experienced it, because I used to work myself so hard in the gym. Like, I'll show you guys a video now where I used to be a little bit bigger, and the aftermath, of course, my face was much worse, like acne wise, and like it was much. Well, this was before I was essentially a vegan, which I kind of consider myself as being right now. But I didn't look as good, right? But as you can see, after I did this lift, my face was bleeding. My face was literally bleeding, and this is not what I consider to be part of the overtraining process. It's just that, well, it might be actually, in that, you know, the blood pressure was so high, you know, especially it went to my face, right? And even and this was a pimple that just, like, I know it's TMI, right? But this is important, I think, to discuss, because I think it shows, like, the signs of overtraining. And anyways, it was a pimple that kind of just burst, and all this blood came rushing out, and that was disgusting. But yeah, let's go over the signs. That's my experience, and I want to explain the kind of specific signs that you might experience as you go through this kind of overtraining process if you do overtrain. I also want to point out that a lot of, like, top athletes, you know, won't even work out 7 days a week. You know, keep that in mind, right? And you wonder why that is. And I mean, that shouldn't give you an excuse not to go today or tomorrow because you count it as your off day. Just go. Go for like 3-4 days in a row, and then take a rest, you know. That might be even a little excessive, but you got to go to the gym, you know. You got to do your thing. It's very helpful and healthy for your body, you know, physically. Now, and mentally as well. And I want to get into that. So on a physical standpoint, if you're overtraining, you'll have insatiable thirst, and this happened to me so much. I used to go into the gym, and I think I mentioned this in like one of my videos or something like that. In a single workout session, I used to be like in the gym for 2.5 hours or so, and I would drink at least a gallon of water. Can you believe that? A gallon of water. And I don't know if that's out of this world, but look, I'm not like the biggest guy, you know. I'm 5'6", you know. My body shouldn't have to take in a gallon of water in a time frame of 2.5 hours. Maybe if I was like taller and I had a larger build, I would understand, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. And on top of that, you might also have like this extended period of muscle soreness, and so that's what I experienced, right? So like, I used to go for like 6 days, 7 days in a row, and then I would have this off day, and then I would want to go after that off day. I would want to go after resting for a single day, but I would wake up like the 2 days after the last time I worked out, or the 3 days after I worked out last, and I would still be so sore, and I would wonder why. And now this goes on to the next point, in that you might experience insomnia. It's kind of ironic, right? Because a lot of people say that to deal with insomnia, you go to the gym, you run, or you just do whatever, and get your body moving, because then you'll have a better night's sleep. But it's very true. Let me say, I used to have pretty bad insomnia, and it's been improving, and that's only because I've been working out properly. I have a healthy balance now, right? I'm only in the gym for like 30 to 45 minutes now, if that, right? It might be less, you know. You know, all I do is I run on the treadmill for like 2.5 miles. I don't go crazy. I used to, but it's better for me. It really helps. And, you know, because you don't want to be using up, I'm sorry I keep rambling here, but you don't want to be using up all of your energy for the day ahead of you, especially if you're going in the morning to the gym. And that's what I used to do. I would give everything I had, and then I would just be so ready to just like fall asleep, you know, fly into bed. But then I have the whole day ahead of me, right? Like I have to go to classes, I have to do assignments, I have to do all this crazy stuff. So guys, don't do this to yourselves. Go to the gym, but you know, just realize, listen to your body, right? Just realize that you shouldn't be going to the gym to such an extent that you don't have energy for the rest of the day. And anyways, that's how I used to operate. You also might experience depression, and I couldn't say that I've ever like truly experienced depression, so I don't know what that's like necessarily. But this is one of the signs. So maybe if you feel depressed, I mean, I guess I have. I like to be in denial about depression, but I'm definitely not depressed now. I know that for a fact. But I certainly I could have been back then. I used to spend an entire summers just like going to the gym every day, like, and it was just not healthy. It really wasn't. Decreased motivation. So this might tie in with depression, but decreased motivation. You might feel like, oh man, like the next day, like I can't do this anymore. It's like, why would I want to go to the gym today for another 2.5 hours or something like that? That's crazy. And anyway, that's how I felt. Loss of concentration. Maybe it's hard to just get things done, to focus. You might have a heightened sense of ADD, something like that. And, you know, stunted progress. You might have this constant plateau, and you might not necessarily be able to progress as far as building muscle is concerned. Because, for one thing, as a side effect of overtraining, you're not sleeping enough. And sleeping is the most important part in the workout kind of experience, because that's truly when your body regenerates its muscle tissue. And if you don't give it that time, if you don't give that 8 hours or 9 hours or whatever your body requires, because everyone's different, then you're going to be left in this constant plateau, as I've said. And you just got to be careful, you know. Also, lower self-esteem is a side effect as well, and you got to be aware of that. So if you're not feeling good after going to the gym, something's wrong, probably. I mean, because sometimes it's true that like I'll come back from the gym and I don't feel 100%, but I mean, these days is what I'm saying. And I certainly realized that I didn't overtrain, and I don't feel 100% sure, but the very fact that I just went to the gym just makes me feel better. I don't know. It does have a really, really good effect on your mental state. So for those of you who are thinking about starting to work out or have done this for a while, I don't know, go to the gym, but like, you know, don't think like you have to just like crush it when you first go there. You really don't. Honestly, like, this is what I say to people, like, don't wear yourself out. Like, go to the gym for like 15 minutes or some shit and then just leave. Really, like, and just recognize the fact that you must go the next day and the next day after that. And maybe increase the amount of time that you go, 20 minutes, 25, and so on. And, you know, don't work out for longer than an hour, I would say, at the gym. And really, like, listen to your body. Like, that's the big thing. Like, there's this strong man. He's like 50 years old. His name is Mark Felix, and he's one of the strongest men in the world. And he always preaches about that fact. He's like, listen to your body. And, you know, it's so true. You really gotta, like, if you're at the gym, if you have a sharp pain, or you're just like, you're really like losing energy as you work out, stop and leave. Just stop and leave. That's my advice to you guys. But anyways, that's my personal experience. Everyone's body is different. You may be able to go to the gym for 2.5 hours and not feel a thing. I don't know. Overtraining is definitely a thing. Otherwise, why wouldn't we be able to just like work out for 24 hours straight and be okay with that, you know? anyways, I hope this was informative. Let me know how you like these podcasts. I did one before, and I don't know, didn't get a ton of views, but I like doing these, you know? I think it's cool. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. All right, see you soon.